Hey guys, welcome to the making of a tracer gun part 4. This is a series of videos, so I do recommend please watch in sequence. So in last time we were uh, doing some low poly of these objects. If you didn't watch that video, then you can watch it over here on the top. So now I completed the uh, process of making of low poly, because it's the same things I'm going to repeat. So I'm just want to show you that how my low poly gonna looks like. Okay, so it is my proxy mesh. What is a proxy mesh? It's the mesh before you started from Maya to get into uh, the ZBrush. Okay, it's a starting mesh of what you create. So as you can see, it's have pretty good division to it, so that I can draw any alpha if needed in ZBrush. In case it is not needed, it's needed on this area like this. Okay, so uh, uh, for, so this is the proxy mesh, as you can see. So I think you got the point. What is proxy mesh? It is the mesh which is you started at the first point, then get to ZBrush, then do some details. Okay, so it is your high res mesh. Okay, high poly or high res mesh, you can call it what you are like. So, and this one is your proxy and this is your low poly. So low poly is your game mesh, as you can see here. Okay, I add a annotation so that you just not get confused both of these. So as you see, the Proximus has some details, uh, like the high-res myth also, this and this screw and this. I didn't have that in my low poly because I know that can be baked in normal map, and I will assign a normal map to this mesh. Okay, so as you see that my proxy mesh is started with 18,000 polygons, so it is pretty much high. uh, so I make this one, and it is 4,300. So this one is going to be in my game. mm, Not my game actually, the render engine. I mean, in this case I'm using Marmoset. Okay, so yeah, and I just want to show you that where I reduce and how I reduce the poly counts. So first thing, I remove these screws. Okay, and the reason behind I remove these, not these, and because it has a pretty much a big depth. So it's really gonna too hard to get it in normal map. Okay, so and these screws are can be get into the normal map because they're pretty small and they have not much depth. Okay, these things have very strong screws, so strong bolt forms, so I have to catch it that in model. And uh, and as you can see that this is not very big depth, so I can bake it in this surface, right? So, and yeah, and if you see that I model this uh, whole thing like this separation and this separation, this in a single mesh, and this also, this and this whole object in this single object. uh, so why I made this, because in uh, it will reduce the poly count if I make it in a single object. Think that if I am going to model it in separate ways, then this object's inner side also I have to create, and that's going to be increase my poly counts. And yeah, and also that this portion has to space in UV also, in texture sheet. So I don't want to waste my UV sheet of this object which not gonna be seen. Okay, so I made this in single object, and as you see I use quite a few triangles over here. But why I use that? Because this surface is not much have any seal out. uh, if this surface is going to show up like this, or some objects are coming like this, then I have to um, give some polygons here so that that seal out can be captured. But it doesn't have any seal out, so I just triangle it over there. And as you can see, this object's curvature is really important, because if you press 7, it's will going to your light mode, and you can see there is a curvature. Okay, so this curvature has to be um, have polygons, and if you have 7 and see this edge, it has nothing, so I triangle it over here. Okay, if any loops having any changes on the seal out, you have to model that, right? So like uh, if you press 7, then you can see this roundness, then this cliff, then this. If I reduce this too much, then is seal out gonna be waste, like this one. Okay, so it's going to seem like harsh on the point. It gives a point to you, so it'll better to have a curve. And as I as I told in the first video, and please, I do recommend that if you didn't watch that sequence, then you should watch in sequence from the first. So as you see that there is a curve to it like this, so I have added loop over here. But I see as you see, it is not have any seal out on this angle, so I triangle it over here so that my poly count is on the budget. Okay, so yeah, I made couple of objects which are separate um, polygroups, not polygroups, uh, separate objects combined together. Okay, so I model this one. uh, yeah, so and I think that this object doesn't have to be this much big. As you can see, it is pretty big, and I made it pretty small because I don't want that the all the way my polygon counts are going to stretch, and if I'm just making like this, then my UV space also get waste. So it's better to have like this. And for this edge, I just added a plane over here, and I will bake that to this mesh. It will be easy, no problem. Rather than having the full object, it's better to have this much only. Okay, and most of these parts, this one I just took it from my proxy mesh and snap it to my uh, high poly, which is this one. Sorry, this one. And which is this one. Yeah, so, and remember, if you you have to uh, take your high res and snap your objects to it. Like if may you change any proportion, and in high poly mesh your mesh should be little behind like this, and you are going to bake, then it will be really mess up, because your high res mesh is not strapped to your low poly. Okay, so make sure you have that. So yeah, and I'm not going to make low poly for this because it's going to be baked in on this surface, so it will be leave like that. And And this I told you in the last video how to make this low poly and this low poly. And also I have capped this portion here so that if the rings come out, then it will be not hollow, showing up hollow there. And I added many loop as I can in the curvature points. So like here, as you see, added loop over here and triangulate it till the end, and it doesn't have the inner edges here. And I do model it in a single mesh. Is completely inner side one object. If you delete this edge, you can see it is a solid mesh, not extra parts. It's having a little issue with me with this corner, but I try to figure it out how I can do that. There is an edge, it should not be here, I can delete it. And this loop also. Okay, so before taking it to your baking process, you have to do cleanup of it. So how to do cleanups? Select all your models like this and give a automatic map to it for start. UV automatic, yeah, that's will work. And shift right click, go to cleanup here, open the box and turn let me reset it so that I could change. Yeah, now select match polygons. So if you apply these changes, then Maya should not fix the errors automatically. You have to do it manually because Maya algorithm not works pretty well as you think. Okay, so select match polygons and turn on this faces with more than 4 side, and turn on this face with holes, and lamina faces, non-manifold geometry, 0 width, edges with 0 length, faces with 0 geometry area, faces with 0 map area. You can skip these also, but let me check first. Okay, so if you apply, then your mesh will be selected like this. Okay, so as you see that there is something I left over here, I just need to delete it. Okay, that's not a necessary part, and I will again do that. And if your mesh still selected, then you can hit select control and unselect this and apply again. It will select the proper area which have the error. Okay, so I can see here a edge. Okay, so I'm deleting these. Now apply again until you didn't get any errors. Okay, if you have any errors, then just let me show you. I have a point over here, as you see it is a 5S and it is error mesh, right? So if I select this one, then my whole mesh is selected like this. What you need to do, select control and unselect all the faces and run again, and it will select the exact area where they have the issue, and you should clean it up. What is it? Okay, so now you can see my mesh is cleaned up, and I have pretty time to left, so I'm going to UV it quickly. Okay, going to UV editor because I added a auto map so UV is a complex process. um, if you don't know what is UV is, it's like something, um, you let me think, how can I explain. Think like a tailor, okay? So you are making a dress, and you gave them the cloth, and he will make the dress, right? So how he made it, he decided a pattern and cut it from your cloth and stitch it together. And by the knowledge how he going to stitch it, it depends how your shoot is come up, okay? So in short, if I'm starting with simple, okay? So these objects I have, I'm just separating this. I will you with these objects first, okay? So for start, you can for the automatic, it's already cut somewhere. The bold lines are the UV seams area. I'm just applying a planar map to it like this, and I will cut from this edge because this edge is on the behind side, so it's not gonna be seen much. And cut. Okay, now unfold, shift right click, unfold, layout UVs. Okay, so set it your unfold setting to unfold 3D. It will give you the best result. Okay, yeah, so you can apply roughly checker over here. Yeah, this is the rough checker of. If you want any specific, you have to connect in your materials. Okay, so your checker should be quad everywhere. Okay, I like this one. Now for this, I'm going to apply a planar map to it. Okay, then I will cut from here, cut from here, and cut from here, and I need a center line, so I will cut from the downside so that it's not gonna be seen from the other angles. I have to also cut it from here. Okay, and yeah, this is the cut here, and I'm shift right click, cut and fold, layout. Okay, so it's come up like this. Pretty easy if you understand the concept of viewing. If you doesn't understand, then uh, please comment on the box, so I will make a clear video on that. Yeah, if the comment has most attentions, like too much guys have the same issue. So okay, so applying the checker, as you see this checker is smaller, this is bigger, so checker should be the same size. For that, what you can do, shift right click, go to the unfold option, switch to legacy, and in the legacy tab there is an option for rescale, and if you unfold it, it will rescale your model. rescale your UVs. Okay, like this, and back to unfold 3D. Just unfold it. Okay, now let's check. Yeah, it's pretty okay. And if it have some little more stretching, then don't worry it, because it is a stylized project. So in stylized there not much of using the patterns like seamless patterns, so it will be fine because they have just on paints, so it will be okay. Okay, so I delete this one and duplicating this one, and I will keep the overlap UVs of those after I just finish all the UVs. So yeah, this is how you do a simple object. I will do a complex object in the next part. Okay, so guys, if you like it, then please give a thumbs up. If you didn't subscribe yet, please do. And I have a cool video on bandages, how to make bandages and seamless textures, and please do check out the starting parts of this tracer making guns also, like part 1, part 2. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.